Hey everybody, in this video I have two parts only machines from the Goodwill Computer Works store. One is in not so good condition and the other one is in pretty decent shape. First we'll start with this one. This is a HP Pavilion A614N that came with Windows XP, has a Pentium 4 CPU. Well, in fact both these are Pentium 4 machines. And this one here has had it pretty rough. A piece of the front panel is missing. It gets better actually. It was $14.99, and let's go ahead and have a look at the back before we pop this thing open. Here's the back of the computer. Have a look here. Somehow or another the AC input plug on the power supply has become broken. I'm guessing somebody either shoved the AC cord in really hard or they pulled it out really hard. Not really sure exactly how this happened, but somehow or another this plug has become broken. This is a Vastec HX25012Z power supply. Here's the motherboard connections. All those look fine. There's actually a missing screw here on the printer port. Here's the modem. Just going to pop the cover off, have a look inside. Okay, here's what the inside looks like. This motherboard does post. I tested it when I was at the Computer Works store, though we do have a couple of back capacitors. One's located here, another one here, another one here, and another one here. And it comes with 512 megabytes of RAM. Comes with a CD-ROM, or actually it might be a DVD burner. I'm not really sure because all of this is missing. Of course, whoever had this thing didn't take very good care of it, obviously. So this motherboard will need a couple of capacitors replaced, and then it should be good to go. And this machine has a 2.6 gig Pentium 4 processor. And the computer originally had 256 megabytes of RAM, and like I say, now it has 512. Like I say, this one here is going to be a part machine. I'm not going to try to refurbish and sell this one like it is, because it looks pretty rough. So I'm going to part out for the motherboard, fix the power supply, and be good to go. Okay, now let's have a look at this one. Okay, this computer here is a HP 754N. And this one here's a bit older, but it's in pretty good condition. The only thing wrong with it is it's missing this cover for the CD holder thing that a lot of these older HP Pavilions came with. It's also got a DVD writer. There's a DVD burner and a CD-ROM drive. Comes with a floppy. Pretty decent setup for back when this computer was new. It comes factory with 512 megabytes of RAM, 2.53 gig Intel Pentium 4 CPU. Originally had an 8 gig hard drive, and it has the Intel integrated graphics. Let's go ahead and have a look at the back. Of course, this power supply, the plug looks fine, and all the motherboard connections look good. There's a modem, and it's got the amplified audio output. The good thing is I actually have a pair of speakers that would hook up to this that come with the HP computer. It's a matter of finding them. Let's go ahead and pop the cover off. This one here I'm planning on just popping a hard drive in and it'll be ready to go. It might need some RAM. I don't remember, I've had it for a while. And of course these older HPs, the way they worked was that would suck in air from the back here and duct it down to the CPU core, and that way the CPU would get fresh air. and then the power supply was responsible for sucking all the air out, which isn't really the best design in my opinion, but back in these days when things that run extremely hot, it wasn't too bad. But I have seen some HPs, especially some media center HPs, that had this form factor, and it was pretty hard on them. So let's see if I can get this bracket loose. Okay, I've removed the air duct, and this machine here is missing the CPU cooler, which is not a problem because I have plenty of socket 478 heat sinks laying around. Just install another one. And this machine here has the same kind of motherboard as the last one. All the capacitors on this one look just fine. If I'm not mistaken, these motherboards here will accept Sauron D processors. Some of them might need a BIOS update. The power supply in this machine is a 200 watt unit. It's a High Pro. Let's see. Yep, max output is 200 watts. I don't know if you can see or not. Get these wires out wasting. Give a look at the spec label. We might be able to kind of see the specs. Anyways, pause view specs. If you can see them. Okay. And of course, like I say, these older machines are pretty cramped. And let's see how much I paid for this one. I don't know if it works or not because, of course, there's no CPU cooler on it, so I couldn't test the motherboard to see if it worked or not. I paid 15 bucks for this one too, so $30 total for both machines. Not too bad. It's even got a 1394 firewire port up front, which is pretty old. I mean, this has been around for a pretty good while. And of course, like I say, put a CPU fan on it, a hard disk drive. This will be pretty decent. And let me see how much RAM it has. It would need another stick of RAM because it currently only has 256 megs of RAM installed. This is a common practice from the Computer Works store. Sometimes they'll like to take out certain components. Like I say, with a hard drive, memory, and a CPU core, this will make a pretty decent little machine for internet browsing, basic tasks, that kind of stuff. Anyways, that was a look at two parts machines, and I also want to give out a shout to a guy named James Jones who happened to find me on Facebook, and he happens to live in Huntersville, which is where I also live. So he asked for me to give a shout out to him, so I figured I would. Like I say, his name's James Jones. He's one of my fans on Q Computer channel. Anyways, any questions or comments, feel free to ask.